I used to think the worst enemies came from outside, but the betrayal that changed my life came from within my own home. It all started when my mom remarried a man she described as a savior. Paul, my stepfather, was rich, charming, and most importantly, he had a daughter, Clara. She seemed perfect, with her dazzling smile, designer clothes, and a confidence I could never imitate. But behind that smile hid a viper. Clara and I never really connected. She looked at me as if I was an intruder in her world. Still, I tried. I shared my dreams, my ambitions, and even my secrets with her, hoping that one day she would see me as a sister. But I had no idea she would use all of it against me. Clara had a talent: manipulation. Everything she touched seemed to work in her favor. She lied so effortlessly that even I started to question my own version of events at times. The turning point came when I landed a golden opportunity, an internship at a prestigious company. It was the first step toward my dream of becoming an architect, a dream I had nurtured since childhood. When I announced the news to my family, I noticed Clara's smile falter, but I didn't think much of it. I assumed she was happy for me. What I didn't know was that she had already begun plotting my downfall. A few days later, my boss called me into his office furious. Someone had sent an email to the company claiming I had falsified my CV and references. The email was signed with my name. I was in shock. My internship was immediately revoked, and my reputation took a massive hit. When I got home, Clara was there waiting with her smug smile. She didn't say a word, but the look in her eyes said it all. It was her. Clara didn't stop there. She started spreading rumors among our social circle, saying I was jealous of her, that I was a liar and even a thief. Every time I tried to defend myself, she twisted things to her advantage. Gradually, my parents began to doubt me. The breaking point came when Clara accused me of stealing money to fund an application to a prestigious university. Paul, her father, was furious and demanded that I pay back a sum of money I had never even touched. My mom, overwhelmed and swayed by Paul, chose to stay silent. I was completely alone. One evening, after yet another argument, I packed my bags. I decided I couldn't live in a house where every breath felt like a battle. Before leaving, I looked at my mom one last time, hoping she'd say something, that she'd ask me to stay, but she stayed silent. It was over. The first few months were the hardest. I slept on couches, worked in coffee shops to make ends meet, and cried more nights than I could count. But something inside me refused to give up. I started studying online while working odd jobs. Each day was a struggle, but every small victory brought me closer to my dream. One day, I met a woman named Sarah, a mentor in the field of architecture. She saw my potential and offered me a chance to work on a freelance project. That opportunity changed my life. Years later, just as I was launching my own architecture firm, Clara reappeared. But this time, she no longer had her arrogant smile. She looked broken. She told me that after I left, her life had spiraled. Fights with her father, broken friendships, and impulsive decisions had left her alone and struggling. She begged me for a job or any help to get back on her feet. I looked at her, and for the first time I felt neither anger nor hatred, just pity. I calmly replied, "You destroyed me, Clara. But because of you, I learned how to rebuild myself. Now it's your turn to face the consequences of your choices." And I walked away without looking back. Today I'm proud of the life I've built. I'm surrounded by people who believe in me, and I wake up every morning with immense gratitude. Clara's betrayal taught me a valuable lesson. Sometimes what feels like the end is actually the beginning of a new chapter.